Before dawn, the silence in Tubas shattered. Helicopters low, bulldozers blocking every road, families trapped as an entire region fell under lockdown. The West Bank wakes to one of the largest Israeli raids in months. Israeli forces launched a large-scale raid on November 26th across the city of Tubas and the nearby town of Tammun in the northern West Bank, in what Palestinian officials say is one of the most expansive military operations in the area in months. According to local media, the incursion began shortly after 4 a.m. local time, when ground troops backed by bulldozers moved into multiple towns across the governorate. Residents described waking to the sound of helicopters circling low and armoured vehicles rolling through narrow streets. By mid-morning, much of the area had effectively been transformed into a restricted military zone. The Israeli newspaper Haaretz reported that the Israeli military distributed leaflets in Tubas informing people that the area had become a haven for terrorism. The leaflets warned,
"If you do not change this, we will act as we did in Jenin and Tulkarm."
The closures paralysed daily life. Schools and kindergartens across Tubas district suspended classes due to what local officials called an immediate and escalating security threat. Parents attempting to collect children were forced to navigate blocked roads and military checkpoints. Residents reported that soldiers entered a number of homes during the sweep, conducting searches, questioning occupants, and, in some cases, damaging furniture and personal belongings. In a joint statement, the Israeli army and Shin Bet described the raid as a counterterrorism mission, targeting what they called terror infrastructure in the region. Officials said the operation, led by the Menash, Samaria, and Commando brigades, was part of a series of proactive raids designed to thwart attacks and prevent armed groups from establishing operational bases in the area. The military said the mission would be sustained and intensive, describing it as similar to operations carried out in West Bank refugee camps earlier in the year. Palestinian officials, however, sharply rejected that characterization. Tubas Governor Ahmad al-Assad argued that the scale and nature of the incursion signaled a broader political and geographic objective rather than a direct security response.
The assault is targeting Tubas for its location near the Jordan Valley in a new effort to impose new realities.
Al-Assad said the operation began well before dawn and was accompanied by the enforcement of a sweeping curfew across several towns. He confirmed that Israeli troops had taken over buildings situated on high ground overlooking the governorate, giving the military strategic vantage points across the region. He added that around 30 families had been forced to leave their homes, some without being able to take personal belongings. He also dismissed Israeli claims that the operation was targeting fugitives or armed cells in the area.
There were no fugitives here. This is an attempt to impose new security dynamics on the governorate.
Israeli officials countered that the operation followed intelligence assessments, indicating increased efforts by armed groups to expand their presence in what they call the 5 Villages region. They pointed to several attempted attacks on Israeli troops in recent months, arguing that Tubas and its surrounding towns had become a hub for emerging militant networks. More than 50,000 Palestinians live across the 5 towns now encircled by the army. With access roads blocked, homes occupied, and helicopter overflights continuing throughout the day, residents say the area has effectively been placed under siege. For many, uncertainty now hangs over how long the operation will last and what new restrictions might follow once the troops eventually withdraw.